Sorry about that. Let's do a retake. Probably stop that at the beginning. Anyway, try to focus and continue. Frustrating. Yes. No. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I should start at the ceiling. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so they talked about importance of consent and signs for abusive relationship. That was good. They also talked about importance of condoms and different birth control options. Good there. I'm gonna add a side note in there in a minute. Yeah. And then they also talked about all the STDs. Yeah. But they mostly promoted and just focused on and really harnessed it and tried to pound in and talk about abstinence. So like sex? No. And then we had that one talk in like 7th, 8th grade about the different stages of intimacy that lead up to sex. They're like, intimacy isn't always sex. It's holding hands. Things like that. And the different bases. Yeah. From hand holding to hugging to sex. Yeah. So, that's all fine, that's all said. Like, nothing was really bad except for, obviously, they're like, pound in abstinence. No. It's always an option, but no. Just no. And they're always like, abstinence before marriage, and yeah, and they were trying to pound that into us. Yeah. I'm always single, so obviously I don't have experience. I have no confidence in myself, and I have enough problems. I can't. No. I can't handle shit. And no one's liked me. I've had many crushes where I thought people liked me, and they did not like me. No one has liked me. So that did not work. That has never happened. So no relationships for me. So I have no experience. So yeah. And it's really funny and ridiculous and everything that people like, there's a married woman who has multiple children is gonna tell us about one absence, which you didn't because you got married and had sex and had children, so you were not absent. And next, you're gonna tell us about both birth control, which you either failed at or choose not to use because you have children, so you failed. So no, this doesn't work. You're teaching about two things that you don't actually know, because, or if you used for a very short time, you're abstinent for a little while, and you were on birth control, or knew about these things, for a little while. Like, you failed. Yes. So I thought that was funny. Yeah. Okay, so, back to what they should include, and a new update, and new interesting thing I learned. I didn't know, I think I saw it from a TV show, and I probably got confused. I don't know for sure. So, obviously, look up facts and things like that. Yes. So, I was told that condoms only work 75%, and so, but normally they only work like 70%, because, people don't wear them correctly and things like that. They did try and show us in class. Part of it I didn't pay attention, but they probably should have. So I don't know for sure if they really spent enough time and focused in on that, but they probably should. If they don't include that, they should definitely spend more time on that and learn more about that, so they can tell us. Because I was told that you could use it, that it can be like 70% of the time, also because like people could like put it on inside out. I didn't know that was possible. I don't need to know that, but yeah. But should really more focus on and hound in about always use a condom, because it prevents all STDs. There we go. And also be like, hey, HIV and AIDS, oh my god, yeah, that's the thing and everything, but like, they didn't like target gay people, but Yeah, they won't. I don't think they handled it the best. I think they could have just done a little bit better. Aim for a little higher, my dude. Little higher. Little higher. Just elevate a little bit more. It's like, dude, no, no. If you're sexually active with more than one partner, and if you're both not a virgin, and you're not together, and you don't stay together, so obviously you're gonna have to get tested at some point. Tested should be regular thing and everything like that. Like, dude, you don't know how many people you've been with. You don't know how many people they've been with. Yeah. And if you're a girl, you 100% got it from a guy. You just don't know who. You don't know which guy. And if it wasn't a combination of multiple guys, being with multiple men. At different times or together, like, dude, whatever you do. Whoever with you with. And also, like, explain difference between sex and gender. That would be nice. And the different genders. Don't have to, no one include them all, but just be more inclusive. Just be like, things you need to be aware of. Yeah. And just really hound in the message that, like, dude, if you're straight and you're cis, you're probably also going to get this STD. The only way you can't is, as I said before, you literally, two virgins marry each other. Only way you can't get one. Well, I mean, obviously, there are other ways. There's that way, and condoms, obviously. So, that's really two ways. I don't know why I'm holding up 3 fingers. I can't say words. You know. But yeah, it's the only way to prevent STDs. And you should also still get tested, even if, like, also 100% use a condom every time, because, as I said before, 75% effectiveness usually goes down to 70% because, like, it rips, it tears, we put it on correctly, we don't know how to use it, it's too big, things like that. So, yeah. If you experience anything, you should get tested. If you're sexually active with more people, more than one person, you should get tested. It's just something people should incorporate in their future and their... If you have a dating life and your romantic life and you're sexually active, you should get tested. And obviously frequency. How many times and how often you get tested should vary upon your varied sex life, basically. I'm talking too much. No, I'm not. I'm not talking enough. Yeah, we did not focus. I do not understand straight relationships, and I don't understand them at all, especially since everyone, and, like, I am single, so I'm lonely, and I'm desperate. But you help that, and you cancel the loneliness and desperation, because almost everyone who's in a relationship, even if it's happy, they just complain. You complain. And I'm like, dude, there are more options. You could be gay, you could be bisexual, you can be pansexual, you could be not intimate, you can not live together, you don't have to be in a committed relationship, you can be in an open relationship, you can be poly, you don't have to be married, you could be divorced, you can just be separated. Like, you had choices. Like, the reason you're unhappy, you're with someone and you're unhappy, is your own choices. You caused this. You caused this. It's your fault. Yes. They complain. No. Of course, I should be more understanding, but I really can't, and it probably will happen if I ever cross the road of singlehood into a relationship or have any experience. I will understand and be more sympathetic, but only to an extent. Still. People complaining about their wives and their significant others. You chose. You could always break up. It's not always the option. The option has never left to leave the relationship. It's always open. Like, you can. You literally can. Unless you're obviously in an unsafe and abusive relationship. But you can leave that relationship. It's 100% harder. And you have to get other people involved and other people help. You can't do it by yourself. You gotta Other people gotta help you. In that case, get help. Get lots and lots of help from others to stop it. Stop it. Yes. And part of that is complaining about it. In that case, you need to complain as much as possible to get other people's attention so they can explain to you that you are being abused so you can get out of that relationship. Very toxic. Very harmful. You will need lots and lots and lots and lots of... You will drown in therapy bills. Yes. Yes, you will. And maybe a little bit in lawyers for divorces and... Can't think of words. And probably need a lawyer if you need a divorce and for words. Restrictions where they can't be getting to certain feet of you. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll remember a word, maybe I won't. Unknown. Everything is unknown. Restraining order. It came. The order came. Yeah, and also people like... I was surprised. Sorry, I keep getting distracted before. I should mention, after the fact that 75%, the problem with condoms and everything like that should be still used. Well, obviously STDs, they should be used if there's a penis involved. No matter what your gender is, if you have one, condoms should be used. Yes. Unless you want pregnancy and things like that. So, but testing is always an option. And should be, yes. So they should hound in that, and then also, just, yeah, hey, different relationships, and they exist, and there are different sexualities, and there are open relationships, and things like that, yeah. They didn't teach any of that. They taught about what I mentioned before. They didn't talk about the different types of relationships, and they did not touch it. I didn't know vibrate. Like, I learned elsewhere that vibrators exist, and, like, other things exist. I don't expect them to get in BDSM. That's a whole different level. That's stuff I'm into. That's private. That was my own learning things. But they should 100% teach about vibrators, because also, especially early on, because they're like, oh, absence and everything. But especially since I've heard about other kids and like young kids, people are experimenting and everything, which is good. It's all solid. Yeah, just be safe. Safety, obviously. Emotionally, physically, and sexually. Your junk. Protect your junk. Yeah. And that should be a universal term. I'm sorry if you're uncomfortable with that, but I think, personally, I don't have a trunk. I don't have a dick, penis, that thing. Don't have that. So I don't have a trunk, but I have junk. Don't have a trunk and my junk. Yes. Sorry. That is something on my phone. My phone is about to die. But definitely, especially since, I heard in, like, their statistics, can't say the word, about, it's really sad, well, it's mostly just sad, but I heard it and I was very concerned. Like, a lot of people are having, like, sex early on, and, like, also, like, I heard, like, a lot of women don't orgasm, and, like, they don't have pleasure during sex. Like, they don't come. And I'm like, you need to teach people about vibrators. Teach them that they exist, and that there are different forms, and, like, that means, teach them about that masturbation is an option, and things like that, because, like, I had to learn all of this stuff on my own. Like, because they think, oh, the only pleasure comes from, like, a man, or being someone and having sex. No. There are other options. You can be by yourself and be pleasured. So vibrators are for. And they're very cheap, and they're way cheaper. Like, if you don't want a relationship, but you want to have sex, like, you want to come, then obviously just buy a vibrator. Don't deal with all the nonsense. Literally, I swear, I don't. You complain about it, and you complain about the sex. You could not have sex and still get to come and have a better experience by just buying sex toys. Just go online. Cheaper. No damage. No physical damage. No mental damage. And yeah, 100% cheaper. And There's no after effect, except for, like, pleasure. Yeah. And the worst that could happen is, oh, the toy broke. Or, like, it got stuck. I don't know if the last one is an option. But for the most part, it would just break, and then the simplest solution is you just buy another one. Like, you can literally replace a human with a vibrator. It solves all of your problems. This is why I was like, they were invented quite a while ago, and since their invention, the number of relationships should have gone down, and violence and sex and things like that should have gone down. Maybe they did. I don't know. You should definitely look that up. If you have questions, go to Google or probably official doctor site or official.gov website. That should help. I am way too lazy to try and find answers, because you can probably tell I don't care. Just simple things I wish that they would have taught in school. Obviously not everything. Like, I don't have high expectations, but I think they should definitely renew and change things. And up to date, because it's so old. It's the same. They didn't change the way they taught sex, especially at Eastbrook. So I don't know about other schools. Hopefully they're better, and hopefully they change. Yeah. And also, if people are like, oh, against the changes and everything, and against people learning about different genders and different sexual orientations and people being gay and different things like that, like, people are just, they're not, it's not going to make you gay. It's not going to make anyone gay. You're already gay or whatever. And people who are like, oh my god, like, I was gay and now I'm straight. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Like, all of these, and conversion therapy and all that, it's all bullshit. There are videos I've seen that people are like, oh my god, I was converted and everything. I was gay and, like, I was bisexual before. Actually, nothing I've seen have talked about being bisexual. They all pretend it doesn't exist. But it's literally the answer. I'm talking and I keep forgetting to breathe or something. I don't know. Sorry. Keep asking. Yes, so, yeah. Literally, I believe it's all lies. Anyone who said, oh my god, like, I was changed, or, like, someone else changed me, or, like, someone made me gay and I was straight before. No, you just realized your identity, and you realized you were exposed, and you're like, oh my god, this exists. Oh my god, does this affect me? Oh my god. I understand this. I feel this. I identify with this. Okay, this makes sense. Like, it's not gonna make them gay or anything like that, or trans or whatever. Just being exposed to being like, oh my god, there are different people. Okay. This doesn't affect my life whatsoever. Or, oh my god, this makes sense. I'm a part of that. This helped me. It can only help, it can't hurt. Yeah. So that's my take on the parents and everything. I was talking about something before. I was talking about something else. I forget everything. I was talking about being negativity. I was talking about something negative. Dang it. And the anger I have towards myself. I forget everything. That's just great. I think I forgot a few things. One of the things I forgot, and just now remembered, is the fact that I heard on the radio, it was a while ago, that they had finally, they were making pills and everything. There's a new birth control. I don't know if it's out, and I don't know the details. You should definitely look it up if you're interested. A new birth control for men, and it's 99% effective. So what I thought and believed I saw in a TV show about condoms being 99% effective. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, obviously, I guess that's not true. Not true. Yeah. So, I probably remembered that wrong. Or just filled in random statistic. Stat. Can't say words. Can't say that word. Yeah. So they're making new birth control for men, and it started in human trials, and that's been at least a month when I heard that. It's been at least a month since they started human trials. Yeah, which means there were really any bad negative side effects when they dealt with animals and things like that. Hadn't heard anything bad about that or anything like that. But yeah, so hopefully when that comes out, that'll be really effective, and I would also be really helpful, just in general. And then also being like, hey, we're gonna focus and stop putting so much pressure, on women, and actually like hold men accountable. Hopefully that will happen. I don't know. Hopefully more awareness will bring that into effect. Yes. So that was one of the things I forgot I wanted to mention. And then there was something I was talking about that I forgot, and I interrupted myself because I keep forgetting things. Yeah, so that doesn't make you gay. Learning about sex and different genders and different physical attraction doesn't make you gay. You can always use a vibrator instead of dealing and getting into a relationship. Did that. Yeah, I'll remember at some point. It's all gone. It's all gone, and my phone is dying. Great timing. Just great. I'm gonna put this clothes back in here. Maybe I'll remember something eventually. Maybe I'll have to watch this back to find out what I was talking about.